Besides that one leak that totally flipped how we see the new episode, the Wacky Watch website also got an update. And yeah, it's showing us the same teaser, but now we've got a few extra details that actually explain some stuff about the episode. It's Monday morning and the office is already in shambles. Jax ate Ragatha's lunch, Zubul forgot to drink their morning coffee, and Kinger has yet again summoned the A4 paper demon from the 9th circle of hell. And this is where I'm officially lost. Like just 2 days ago, that same site told us Jax would be running around a hot savanna with a rifle next to some endangered species. So now it's actually getting super interesting trying to figure out what's really going to happen in episode 5, and which of these 3 directions is the real one. I was also kind of shocked yesterday that we still didn't get a proper trailer for the new episode, which means we're only getting real answers on June 13th. That's next Friday. And that one's for sure. Oh, and one more thing I noticed. There haven't been any official teasers or leaks about the whole sports theme. All our guesses came from that old baseball stadium render and that quick little scene at the start of episode 4. But besides that, nothing. So maybe the whole baseball idea isn't even part of episode 5. Maybe they're saving that adventure for episode 7 or something. But hey, what do you think? But I can't totally rule out the chance that all these teasers are actually real. Like, what if we do get to see the sports competition, the safari, and some kind of office life? All rolled into one wild adventure. But I don't know. Something tells me the next teaser might just blow all these theories out of the water and show us something completely different. Maybe the ocean. Who knows? I mean, they do have a yacht for a reason. Either way, this episode's looking straight up wild and super hype, and if Gooseworx herself confirmed that episode 5's gonna be split evenly between Jax and Ragatha, which by the way is pretty huge, it's kinda sus that we haven't gotten any solid teasers for Ragatha yet, while Jax has been all over the place. So maybe he's even getting a little more screen time than her? That's why I really want to dive into Jax for a sec and talk about what we might expect from him, especially if one of those adventure themes actually plays out. We're gonna break him down based on everything we've seen so far and how it all shaped his actions in the upcoming episodes. While his sarcasm and bullying were initially introduced in the pilot episode, subsequent episodes have gradually revealed deeper layers to his personality, leading to significant developments. We won't delve deeply into episode 2, as the events there are already well trodden. Other than reinforcing Jax's apparent inclination towards cruelty, it didn't provide much new insight. However, episodes 3 and 4 gave us a much clearer understanding of his character and set the stage for what's to come in episode 5. Although episode 5 is officially the Ragatha episode, recent updates indicate it will equally focus on Jax. If we look at the overall arc of Jax's character development, it's clear that episodes 5 and 6 promise to be intense, especially for him. Let's begin by analyzing Jax's character evolution as seen in episode 3. Pay attention to how Ragatha is really understanding about Pomni's fear and problems. Meanwhile, Jax hears all of this and, once again, takes an already bad situation and makes it really terrible.
I'm not really a fan of horror, and I don't really handle jump scares that well.
Come on, that wasn't even scary. What? You scared of the vacuum cleaner too?
Hey, be nice to her. She's had a rough couple of days.
Her and everyone else. Right, Gangle?
Before we move on, let's take a moment to remember what Zubul said about Jax during the therapy session.
Jax just likes to fight with everybody.
And while Zubul's words might seem obvious, after all, who better than her to know how annoying Jax can be?
If there was a way to leave, I'm pretty sure we'd have all left by now.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
Ooh, a new AI. You don't want to mess with the new AI, Zuby?
Yeah, no.
They still perfectly capture the mood of how everyone in the digital circus feels about him. The 3rd episode just confirms it even more. Back in the 2nd episode, we already saw that Jax really thrives on violence and chaos.
Well, maybe there'll be blood, death, and violence in the next adventure.
Ha 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 ha, how wholesome.
But when Jax decided to stir up chaos in Mildenhall Manor, that was just too much. Everyone was already freaked out and unsure of what to expect from this creepy place. And here comes Jax, adding even more trouble just for his own fun.
Jax!
What? I thought we were supposed to capture all the ghosts.
Which door should we choose?
Not sure. Let's try this out. Oh, that's the scary door.
Remembering everything Jax did during the adventures,
I happen to know a way into the kingdom walls, if you'd be willing to help us out in return.
somehow Ragatha and Gangle managed to tie him up so he couldn't cause any more harm in the manor. It's doubtful they did it on their own, and it's more likely that Martha Mildenhall helped them out during the conversation. where we saw just how frustrated Jax can get when he's restricted. And that's just a small part of what this scene reveals about Jax. After you watch it, I'll tell you something that many people might have missed.
Always having the silliest priorities.
Don't I know it?
If your friends see him, I only hope he doesn't bore them to death with his endless monologues. That man could turn a 57-second story into a Greek tragedy. Feel free to visit anytime.
Definitely.
Congratulations, my little ironclad waffle cones! You've taken the pacifist route, and you should be proud of what good people you are. Unfortunately, we still need to wait until your other teammates finish their adventure before I can grant you permission to leave.
I wonder how long that'll be.
Jax was really unhappy from the moment he got tied up, and his return to the digital circus wasn't as cheerful as in the previous episode.
Don't ever call us that again.
When Kane said they couldn't go back to the digital circus without Pomni and Kinger, Jax's frustration only grew. It's like he just doesn't get why he has to wait for the others or why anyone's telling him what to do. Pomni and Kinger's adventure went on for about 5 minutes, and since there were almost no cuts, that means about 7 to 10 minutes passed in the digital circus. And during that time, Jax's expression just got more and more annoyed. Jax couldn't care less about how the others' adventure went, because his main issue at that moment was that he didn't get to mess with anyone or have any fun with his chaos in the new adventure. Plus, Ragatha's words about how everyone is worried about Pomni didn't sit well with Jax at all. He made it clear that he doesn't care how anyone feels. Also, the final scene is definitely worth mentioning.
So what was it like being stuck with the nutcase?
It wasn't that bad, actually.
Approaching Pomni with his usual sarcasm, Jax was definitely expecting a response like, "That was just awful. He's really a nutcase." Or, "What's the point of talking to him when he doesn't get anything? He almost destroyed me." But when he got a positive response instead, Jax realized that his jokes and teasing weren't landing like they used to, and that really upset him. We've sorted out how much Jax changed in episode 3. Now it's important to note the key events of Jax in episode 4. For the first time, we see Jax genuinely not wanting to cause any harm to Gangle. This really caught me off guard, especially considering all the previous episodes and the countless situations involving not just Gangle, but the other characters too. The old Jax would have just laughed it off and said something like, "Oh well, you're not mad, are you? Not that I care." But from the very first seconds of this episode, we're shown that Jax has started to change for the better. And now it's time for the most epic and mind-blowing part, Spudsy's adventure itself. Right from Jax's very first scene, his usual confidence seemed shaken, and it became clear that something big was about to happen with him. Even though the start of the new adventure seemed pretty ordinary for Jax, what happened next completely shook him to the core. Just look at how utterly confused he is. He can't even find the words to respond. It feels like Jax's world literally fell apart in that moment. And when Gangle announced his list of tasks, it became crystal clear to everyone, including Jax himself, that this episode would showcase a sort of revenge, something Gangle practically admitted outright. This is further confirmed in the following scene.
Oh, I hate this guy.
Never say you hate the customer while the customer is still here. Oh, we wait until after hours for that?
Looking at Jax's unhappy, no, downright distressed expression in the moment he realized this was just the beginning of a nightmare bound to have irreversible consequences for his mental health. Remember the old Jax, who never cared about anyone's approval or support? Now he's actually approaching Zooble, someone he doesn't even have the best relationship with, to try and convince her to ditch work too. This scene speaks volumes about how much Jax has changed. It's as if all his confidence has evaporated, leaving behind someone who might even be afraid of Gangle. Sounds ridiculous, right? But that's the reality Jax is stuck in, a reality that's slowly driving him insane and pushing him further into a depressive state. The fact that time seems to drag on infinitely longer than Jax would like only makes things worse. Even though he's trying to maintain his trademark, unshakable demeanor, it's glaringly obvious that the spark we're used to seeing in him is fading, bit by bit. For the first time, Jax genuinely looks scared, truly terrified by everything happening around him. He's confused by what's going on with him, and shaken by the thought of what Gangle might come up with now that she has more power than usual. He's frightened and undeniably upset about this whole adventure. And yet, it's not even over. By this point, Jax already realizes that things are only going to get worse, and unfortunately for him, he's completely right. All of this completely unravels Jax, and if we compare how he used to get angry versus how it manifests now, we can confidently add another piece of evidence to our growing case for Jax's broken mental state. He's no longer able to control his emotions, and it's heartbreaking to witness. The ultimate proof of his shattered psyche, and the looming possibility of a full-blown depression, is found in one of the final scenes featuring him. It's hard to believe that Jax is now talking to Pomni like this, especially given how he first met her. Even Pomni seems surprised by this sudden turn of events. Just look at how relieved Jax is to finally be done with that awful shift, but then something strange happens.
All right, I'm clocking out. This wasn't fun at all. See you all later.
You've really captured the essence of Jax's transformation in this episode. Seeing him as a lost and insecure character, grappling with the weight of his past actions and fearing retribution, definitely added a new layer to his persona. It's clear that while we didn't fully witness a depression in this episode, the foundation for it was laid. Now we've fully understood how Jax's character has developed throughout the episodes, and it's time to discuss what might be in store for this amusing purple rabbit in the upcoming episodes. As I mentioned earlier, episodes 5 and 6 will focus equally on Jax and Regatha, and it's highly likely that their story arcs will develop together, which makes sense given their apparent connection. Judging by how Jax has gradually become a more well-rounded character, episode 5 is very likely to continue this trend. I'm not going to claim that Jax will get worse, sink into depression, or, even less likely, turn into an abstracted monster just for the sake of extra views. I can assure you that nothing like that will happen. However, it is a fact that Jax will become calmer, and it will be far more interesting to follow his development in episode 5. As for what will happen to him in episode 6, I can't say for sure, but given that episode 5 is described as the calm before the storm, it's quite possible that episode 6 will completely change our perception of not only Jax and Regatha, but also some other characters.